This is Pick a Crystal Tarot for Cancer for the middle of August. Welcome to all the Cancers out there. Happy August to you all. So what we're going to do right now is I would like you to pick which one of these crystals you would like a reading for. All right, so take a moment to pick your crystal and we're going to do a reading for each of these crystals. All right. So there is a 4-card spread that we're going to read first, and there's going to be 2 clarifying cards. If you picked the Black Obsidian, Cancer, this reading is for you. Okay, so you start off with the Page of Swords. Which is a card of curiosity. So, what are you curious about now? It's going to come up with the 8 of Swords, right? The 8 of Swords is just putting restrictions, unnecessary restrictions on your life right now. So what restrictions are you putting in your own life, in yourself? What restrictions are being put on you? These 2 cards are asking you to really think about where you feel limited, right? Are you limiting yourself? Are you limiting your potential? Are you limiting, just what you want to do on a day-to-day basis, right? So the first part of this reading right now is definitely asking you to dive into the parts of your life where you feel restricted. Now, the thing about the 8 of Swords is that these are restrictions that we put on ourselves that are unnecessary, right? So it really is, an internal restriction, or it's like looking at things that are limiting in your life in a new way so that they are less limiting. So these 2 cards are asking you to do that. And then you have the King of Swords with the 5 of Swords. Like, you have all swords here. Right? So it's definitely asking you to use your mind right now. It's definitely asking you to really think things through, right? Like, you're a Cancer. Feeling comes so naturally for you. Empathy comes so naturally for you. That is going to be a tool that you're going to use for this. But you need to definitely, with the 5 of Swords here and the King of Swords, you need to tap into your knowledge and wisdom. You need to tap into your mind to think about where are you limiting yourself, right? Now, the card that's standing out the most to me here is the 5 of Swords, right? The 5 of Swords is just being victorious in any way possible, right? So you can see here, he's won this battle. The 2 losers are walking off in the distance, right? He's done everything that it takes, right? So it's saying that you might need to fight dirty, or maybe you're scared to fight dirty, right? Especially if you're confronting limitations inside of yourself, you need to use the King of Swords to tap into your knowledge and wisdom to think about what's limiting you right now. And then you need to have really tough conversations with yourself. You need to dive into the parts of yourself where you are feeling like you are restricting your potential, you are restricting your life in any way, right? So think about where you feel limited. Think about where you're feeling trapped right now. And it's going to take some dirty work, right? It's going to take some really honest looks at yourself, right? Maybe you need to dive into the uncomfortable parts of where you're limiting yourself right now, just so that you can walk away victorious, right? So this card is a challenging card because it's definitely asking you to really, ask the hard questions and do the hard work, and really, you have to really go to battle with yourself, right? If there are limitations outside of yourself, then you need to think about how are you going to go to battle, in any parts of your life where you feel restricted or conflicted, right? Where you're going to walk away victorious. All right. So to clarify these 2 cards, nice. Let's go. Right. So this is like your tool and your outcome here, right? You have the Emperor with the 10 of Pentacles. Right. So the Emperor is about being controlled, right? Or, controlling these limitations, right? Taking a hold of them. The Emperor is boss energy, right? Now, the challenge with the Emperor is that he's old and he's sitting down and he's weathered. And, it's like you might feel so weathered and just really going through these feelings, really maybe all of your life is what I'm picking up. And maybe it's aged you in a certain way. But, the thing about the Emperor is that he has his armor underneath his cloak, right? Which means he's ready to go at any moment. He may be old with this old beard, right? Like me, he's got a nice gray beard like me, but the emperor is ready to go, right? Because he is authority, he is control. You can take control of these conflicts in your life, these limitations in your life, these things that are, boundaries that don't need to exist. And it's like, I'm getting the strong feeling that these are internal boundaries. So you need to definitely boss up with the emperor. And then this is a potential outcome of this. It's the Ten of Pentacles, right? So the Ten of Pentacles is working towards everything that you want in your life, right? Like once you acknowledge and recognize what these boundaries are that you are placing in your life that are unnecessary, right? And it's like an example can just be seeing things from a different way. Like think about your routine, right? Like if you're living the same routine, you're putting limitations on it, you just feel like it's going over and over and over again. You need to break those routines, break those habits, right? You need to find a way to just like do something different. And then when you take control of your life in this way, where you're doing things differently, you're removing these unnecessary boundaries in your life, your outcome will be the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, excuse me. Your outcome will be the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. So that was for the Black Obsidian group. If you chose the blue calcite, the white crystal here, this is going to be your reading for Cancer. Now, if you're still watching, this is a Cancer reading. So it's like one reading is going to be for a particular group of Cancers. The other reading is for a particular group of Cancers in case of what you chose. But you can still follow along because this is still going to be your energy for Cancer. But the message for this group, okay, so this is the message for this group. You start out with the Magician. The Magician is about, bringing things into your life that you want to have. Like if you know you want to have something, you have what it takes. You can bring it into your existence. You can manifest it, right? The thing about the Magician is that he has mastery of all the four suits of the tarot, right? So what are you going to use to bring in something really awesome into your life here, Cancer, for this particular group, right? So it's so natural for you to use the cups. It's so natural for you to use your emotions with the cups, right? The last group, they needed to use their mind. So are you going to use your mind and reasoning skills, logic, thinking to bring in and manifest something in your life? Are you going to use the creativity and the adventure and the passion of the wands? Or are you going to use your resources, your skills and the work with the Pentacles, right? So whatever it is that you want to bring in here into your life, you need to think about which is the right tool to bring in something powerful into your month right now, right? This is the energy for you. You have the opportunity to bring in something powerful. What is it that you've been dreaming of? The last group got the Ten of Pentacles, right? Like what is it that you want in your life? Even if it's just one thing, you're going to be working. We all work towards the Ten of Pentacles in our life. So what is something that you really want to bring into your life here, right? And then you got some pretty great cards to go with it, right? Because it's like the reading is saying that you need to go on adventures with the Knight of Wands, right? Whatever adventure means for you, just getting out of the house or going on mental adventures inside, studying new things, like, taking a break from scrolling and like actually feeding your mind and your soul with some sort of mental adventure at home, or a physical adventure out in the world. I wanted to say nature, right? Like nature is a great place to experience adventure because it brings us back to our real state, right? It brings us back to our true selves and it gets us out of the concrete and the city. And then we're able to really tap into any sort of adventure, even if it's just going for a walk in the park, right? If you do that, right? If you find a way to figure out which adventure is for you right now, you have the Six of Swords, which is just moving on to a better place, right? The Six of Swords is leaving behind the things that aren't working for you, taking what you need, and just, you don't know where you're going here, right? These two people on the boat are being guided by this guide, and they don't know where they're going. They're bringing their 6 swords because those swords are valuable to them. So they're bringing the knowledge and the wisdom that they have, and they're moving on to a better place. And then you got the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is a victory. The Ace of Swords is going to be like a new way of thinking, right? So with the Six of Swords here and the Ace of Swords and the Magician, and then especially with the last group getting swords, it's like, how are you going to bring the energy, Cancer, from your heart, right? Using your emotions. How are you going to bring it to your mind, right? So the Ace of Swords is air energy. Swords is air energy, right? Like maybe you need to go around your friends who you know have a lot of air in their chart and just like listen to them, but like listen to them with your mind, right? Use your mind more. Find a way to bring energy up from, you know, from your heart, where it's always going to be emotionally for Cancers especially, and bring that energy up into your mind. Okay, so you got the two clarifying cards here. The two clarifying cards are pretty great. So it's like a very similar reading, right? Because you have the Page of Wands and Strength. Right? So the Page of Wands is, again, it's about going adventure, but the key to the Page of Wands is that he has enthusiasm on adventure, right? Like whenever we go on some sort of, and it's like a new adventure with the Page of Wands, it's a page card, right? So it's like taking on a new adventure. The key to this is that whatever you're going to choose as an adventure, it can be old or new. The Page of Wands is saying that you need to do it with enthusiasm. So what is adventure to you right now, Cancer? Like, what do you need to do? And hopefully it's something where you get out of the house, right? Like the energy is so powerful right now for, you know, for astrology to like socialize with people, to get out into the world, right? So, you know, figure out what you're going to do. Even if you're going out by yourself and taking a solo adventure, it's really important. And the outcome that you have is strength, right? So this is definitely tapping into, the energy that you have right now, right? The Strength card obviously represents strength, but she's showing strength by putting her hand in the mouth of a lion, right? She's showing that, you know, the lion represents like her inner demons, her inner critics, her fears. She has control of her fears, and she's displaying her strength by putting the hand in the mouth of a lion. Like, who would do that, right? So your outcome is going to be strength, but again, the message for you here is adventure. All right? Okay, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please click the subscribe button and have a good middle of August, Cancer. Thank you for watching the reading. Peace.